Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. And on today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about Hunter Dickinson. A lot of people are speculating that he's very interested in Kentucky. And I seen he was on Barstool Round Ball podcast, and he revealed some things, and he said some stuff where he kind of made some hints to what's going on with him. And, obviously we looking at how it pertains to Kentucky. So basically, he said that Coach Calipari had took a visit to him. Actually, he said something along the lines of Calipari hopped off the private jet and came to visit him personally, and they talked and they had a nice little meeting with each other, and they trying to get stuff sorted out. And one of the main concerns that he was having was he was worried about how he would fit in with the team, and what was going to happen with Oscar Tshiebwe. Basically, I could see where if Oscar Tshiebwe comes back to Kentucky, that he probably would feel like he doesn't fit in, or maybe his time could be limited if he was to actually come to Kentucky, which I agree with him because, we got Aaron Bradshaw coming in. He's probably going to start, if you will. He may play some center. He may play some stretch four, but pretty sure that Aaron Bradshaw is going to actively be on the court. So I could see his concern. But if Oscar Tshiebwe leaves Kentucky, it does kind of give a nice little spot that Hunter Dickinson can fit into. And he also said that Calipari had asked him to come and take another visit to Kentucky. And initially he said that, he wasn't really worried about it because he had already visited Kentucky before. He was interested in Kentucky when he came out of high school. He said that pretty much wasn't too much that changed. So he kind of was already comfortable with what he knows about Kentucky, or, he's familiar to a degree with the campus. So he wasn't really tripping off that part. He did say that one of the things that kind of made him, or one of the things that piqued his interest a little bit was he said that, Calipari was telling him some different things. Go Kentucky Wildcats, what's up, brother? But he was talking about that Calipari was telling him how they had a new strength coach and different things like that. He said that was pretty important to him. And, that was one of the things that was kind of, making him feel a little excited about Kentucky. So he decided that he was going to come on in and take another visit to Kentucky. So from what I'm hearing, Sunday he's supposed to be in Lexington. He's going to visit and see how things go from there. But, they did ask him in the podcast, and like I said, it's a Barstool Round Ball podcast if you want to go listen to it. But, they was kind of asking him about Oscar Tshiebwe, and he said that without really coming out and saying it, because he said he didn't want to talk about anybody else's business, he didn't want to disclose what he felt like anybody else may or may not do. He pretty much kind of was almost in a roundabout way saying Oscar Tshiebwe is probably either going to the NBA or he's going to leave Kentucky. And, a lot of us had already kind of made those assumptions to a degree, which I kind of feel like that's probably the best two options for Oscar at this point, because I feel like if Oscar's dream is to go to the NBA, he probably should go on and jump now. Because if he wants to make it there, he's going to eventually have to go there and prove that he can play. So he might as well go on and jump in it now. But if he does want to come back, I don't think the best situation for him to improve his game or for him to work on his skill set would be at Kentucky, because I feel like this year's Kentucky team is going to be one of those teams where I don't think there's going to be one specific guy that gets the ball all the time. I think it's going to be every single night you're going to have different guys that could potentially be the leading scorer, who could have the hot hand. I mean, you're going to have DJ Wagner. You're going to have Justin Edwards. Hopefully we're going to have Rob Dillingham if he's eligible. You have Reed Shepherd coming off the bench. We're going to have maybe Antonio Reeves coming back, a guy that's already showed that he can almost put up 40. Um, so at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot of guys that can score. Like I said, Aaron Bradshaw, he's a potential stretch four. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that there will be a whole lot of touches for Oscar. It's not going to be force feeding him the basketball, kind of like we did sometimes this year. So I feel like if Oscar does decide to come back to college, he might have to consider looking somewhere else. I know he loves Kentucky, and Kentucky loves him. I love Oscar, even though he definitely had some games where he had me you know yelling at the screen this year. But overall, man, I love Oscar. He's a great guy to have represent Kentucky, and I hope he does well in the future. But I wouldn't be mad at him if he decided to go somewhere else. Because I just think it's going to be one of those seasons where I think the ball is just going to be spread all over the court, man, and we're going to have a dynamic offense, and we're going to be ripping and running and getting some buckets. So, I don't think it would be the best situation. But like Hunter was saying, he kind of was alluding to the fact that, maybe he should take a visit because there may be a spot available for him. And I kind of like Hunter. You know, I like I like Oscar. I like Hunter. I would be good either way, but it's gonna be tough because we're gonna have a lot of guys competing for that minutes at that position. We're gonna have probably Lance Ware. We're probably not gonna have Collins, unfortunately. I like Collins, but Collins is kind of in that situation where I feel like if he really wants to improve his game, he probably should go on and consider leaving. I think Collins does not like the idea of leaving because I think he kind of feel, from what I gather from what he said last year about, coming back to Kentucky, it was almost like he kind of got that attitude like, I don't need to go anywhere else. I belong where I came and I can prove that I can play here. So I think it's probably it's going to be a tough decision for him to go on and leave. But, I honestly feel like he needs to go somewhere where he's a main part of what's happening and he can get on the court and show what he can do if he wants to try to take his game to the next level. So I don't look for him to be back, but we got Lance Ware, we got Ugana Onyenso that just took his name out of the portal and that's returning to school. So we got a lot of guys that's competing at that position. So I think the fact that Hunter is actually taking a visit to Kentucky kind of makes me feel like Oscar may be moving on from Kentucky. But the one thing that Oscar did that kind of blew me a little bit, apparently, he dropped some new merchandise on his website that says 1 more year. So that one was kind of that one kind of took me aback a little bit because I was, I'm listening to things like this and I'm hearing the rumors and, the rumors are all pointing to him either transferring or, moving on to the NBA. So to see him drop the 1 more year merchandise kind of made me feel like, man, what's going on? Like, is he coming back? Not really sure. And then you hear Hunter, what he said in this podcast. And it's basically, Hunter saying that they kind of told him in so many words that, like, you should take a visit because there may be a spot available. And you know how things go. They probably could, they could be just telling him that to get him to, come and check it out. And then, just try to hook him and, see what he... Slim Reaper, what's up, my guy? Well, yeah, we just talking about... Hunter was kind of alluding to in the Barstool Roundball podcast that that they may have told him that Oscar's probably moving on. So he didn't want to speak about another man's business, so he kind of kept it vague. But in so many words, he was kind of, in my opinion, saying that they told him he should come on and take the visit because there's probably gonna be a spot available for him. Go Kentucky Wildcat said, I hope we get Hunter. Yeah, I like Hunter, man. And I actually would like to see Aaron Bradshaw get to play some stretch four. I hope that Calipari decides to go on, and if he's going to play two bigs, I hope he decides to go on and let one of them actually stretch the floor a little bit. So if he's going to have Hunter underneath the basket, I would like to see Bradshaw play away from the basket. But or he could even go to the small lineup if he wants to play like 3 or 4 guards and then have them run with Hunter. So I feel like Hunter definitely gives them some good options they can go to. And if we're going to lose Oscar, I definitely would like to grab Hunter and, put him on the squad and see what he could do with next year's team. But yeah, if y'all want to see what he said, check out that podcast, Barstool Roundball podcast, so you can listen to it for yourself and tell me what you think about it. But I'm gonna play some highlights of Hunter real quick and just kind of give you my take on what I think about his game and what I like about him. So we'll check him out real quick and see what's up. If it actually load up. Kevin said, I think regardless of who stays or goes, a well-established D1 player down low is a must addition for leadership and experience. Yeah, I agree with you. We definitely need some leadership, man. And I think Hunter got some nice moves, man. Like, and see, like, he looked like he can play well in the pick and roll. And that'll be the pick and roll. If you get a big man that can work well in the pick and roll, when Calipari has them type of guards that can beat people off the dribble, it should be some room for him to thrive. So that would be, that'd be a nice pickup to have some bigs that can get stuff done, move around the bucket, and get some easy baskets. Because I feel like we're gonna have some guys that's gonna be getting to the rack pretty consistently. Plus, it'd be nice to just have two legitimate big men in the rotation. I mean, I know Oscar was a big man, but I'm talking about like legit size, legit 7-footers. Like I was saying, he said that one of his main concerns, or not concerns, but one of the things that piqued his interest a little bit was they told him about the new strength coach that we got. So he said that kind of made him a little interested, because that's really important. I think he knows he's going to have to. You guys is freezing up. I don't know if that's me. It probably is, I guess. Is it working now? It's running fine over here. So I don't know if my internet acting a little crazy. Could be. But yeah, I like Hunter, man. He got the nice little back to the basket moves. But yeah, we need when we getting guys in this transfer portal, we need experienced physical guys, because a lot of the freshmen that we bring in are just going to be, underdeveloped physically, because they so young, high school kids that ain't really started to reach their peak physically. They haven't had enough experience in the weight room yet. So when you go after some of these transfer portal guys, you need to get some guys that's actually got some grown man size, and Hunter would definitely help out a lot, man. Bradshaw definitely will get some stuff done because of his height, but he is a little slim right now as well. But him playing alongside Hunter could definitely make it a little easier on both of them. They could play off of each other real well. But yeah, man, Dickinson is hard to deal with on the glass, man. I'm not saying that he's as good of a rebounder as Oscar is, but he definitely he gonna be hard to deal with. He's just that 7 foot size, man. It's just you just can't teach 7 foot, and he catches the ball high, and he don't bring the ball down low too much. He keeps it up high, turns around, and makes his moves quickly. It looked like he's got a decent little jump shot on him. Can stretch the floor a little bit as well. One-on-one, he seems pretty hard to deal with, though. So he could definitely, I think he'll definitely help next year's team. Let me find something. Yeah, man. I can't wait to see what he does. Like I said, he's going to be visiting Kentucky on Sunday. At first, he was saying that he really didn't necessarily need to take a visit to Kentucky because he pretty much already knew, what Kentucky had to offer. Said he was interested in him in high school. Man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if my internet's acting crazy or not. Slim Reaper said Oscar has a chance, I believe, because he's going to have to shoot the three, and they will either make him more efficient or he won't make it too long. Yeah, definitely. I seen some clips of Oscar working out, and he was trying to work on his range. He was, popping the three ball. So I definitely think Oscar knows what he needs to work on. And like I was saying, if he does come back to college, I think he probably should go to another school where the coach will actually allow him to stretch the floor. It's going to be difficult because any coach that would take Oscar if he comes back to college is going to want him underneath the basket because he's such a good rebounder. But he'd have to, he's going to have to find a spot where the coach will allow him to get in some situations where he can utilize his jump shot, work on his jump shot all season, because that's really the main two weaknesses in Oscar's games is his ball handling and his jump shooting. So if he was able to get that to a nice, respectable level, I think, there's a place for him in the NBA, even though he's kind of undersized. I still think, he could be a nice role player or a nice bench player. But yeah, man, back to Hunter though, man. I really like Hunter. I think he would work well with next year's team, man. I hope that we can snag him. I definitely I'm excited to see if we can get him. I think we need like I was saying earlier, we definitely need, I think it was Kevin that said it, we definitely need some leadership. We definitely need some developed physical guys. So I definitely would love to see Hunter work with next year's squad. Go Kentucky Wildcats said, I would never have thought we would be talking about Oscar in the transfer portal. Oh, man, I really didn't either, to be honest with you. I really didn't either. I actually thought Oscar was going to develop his long-range shooting more because, after last season, that's all they talked about was he's going to, improve his game. He's going to work on his ball handling. He's going to stretch the court. And then, as the season progressed, he really kind of went back into his old ways. And I don't know if that was, him deciding to do that or if the coaching staff was just like, look, man, we just need you to get underneath the basket and rebound. I don't know whose decision it was, but he kind of fell back into, his old way of playing back to the basket and, different things like that. They was force feeding him the ball. And then he had a couple of games where he looked terrible. But for the most part, overall, he did the exact same stuff his second year as he did his first year with Kentucky. So I don't really feel like he made great improvements. I think he just kind of polished up a little bit more of what he was already doing. And unfortunately, I think next year, if he played with Kentucky, he just wouldn't get the ball in his hands. He wouldn't get the opportunity to work on his weaknesses enough. So I feel like he would be in the same situation as he was this year. And if he's going to do that, then he might as well go on and go to the NBA and just try to figure it out at the next level. But either way, man, good luck to Oscar no matter what he decides. If he comes back to Kentucky, I'll be glad to have him back. If he goes to the NBA, I'll be rooting for him to succeed. And if he transfers, I'll still be rooting for him, to figure it out and hopefully, still make his dreams come true. Because at the end of the day, man, I'm going to always look at Oscar as a Kentucky Wildcat. And just a great guy, just a great representative of the team. So hopefully he'll work it out. But if he doesn't come back to Kentucky, man, I would definitely love to have Hunter. And like I said, I think Hunter will fit in great with these guys. I think we're going to have a lot of versatility next year. We're going to have bigs that can stretch the floor, if we get Hunter. And then we have Bradshaw. Then we're going to have a lot of guards that can play. We're going to have a lot of combo guards. We're going to have Reed Shepherd that can play a little point guard and be a shooting guard. Going to have Rob Dillingham, DJ Wagner that can kind of do the same things. Justin Edwards could be a shooting guard, a small forward. So we're going to have a lot of versatility. If everything comes together, we should have a legitimate chance to make some noise. I'm going to wait and see. I'm not going to make any wild predictions because, you just got to wait and see how it plays out when you rely on a bunch of youngins. So hopefully we'll get to figure this out pretty soon because like I said, Hunter said he's coming to take a visit in Lexington on Sunday. So hopefully we'll know more after that. But the rumors that I had been hearing was he pretty much told Kentucky that he would definitely play for Kentucky, but he just got to figure out, or not him per se, but Kentucky's got to figure out this Oscar Tshiebwe situation. So basically they either have to let him know quickly, is Oscar coming back or is he leaving? Because, you can't ask this kid to wait forever. At some point he's going to have to, he's going to have to make his decision because he can't just wait around for Kentucky and then be stuck out there. So hopefully they'll figure it out soon. But he acts like he's excited, like he kind of enthused about potentially coming to Kentucky. I would like to have him. But like I said, Oscar kind of threw me off again with the whole merchandise drop, the one more year T-shirts that he did. So I don't really know what's going on, man. We just, like I said, we're just going to have to wait and see like everybody else. But anyways, man, like I said, I don't know what's going on with the stream. I don't know if, I don't know why it's going so slow, but I'll try to figure things out on my end. Hopefully it didn't ruin the experience too bad for y'all. I appreciate y'all, checking it out anyways. But yeah, man, I'll let y'all go. We'll get back at it next time. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson. I got to shoot up to New York this weekend. One of my best friends is getting married, and I'm lucky enough he chose me to be his best man. So yeah, man, I got to go up there and hold it down for my guy. But hopefully we'll have something to talk about on Monday. But anyways, man. Oh, what up, Daryl? Man, you got here too late, man. I'm gonna go on and wrap it up. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I was saying, man. Oh man. CB Grid said it's freezing. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm gonna go on and wrap it up. I ain't gonna make y'all suffer through this anymore. Like I said, I appreciate y'all coming through, and we'll get back at it next time. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson. We out of here.